Okay, it's doing its thing right now. I guess, well, bear with me, we just have some technical difficulty. I think this will do fine. Yeah, this will do fine. Uh, don't you just love technology? So, welcome everyone. My name is Chad Royer, or rather, Chad Y. Royer, and welcome to my channel, What's Up with Chad Y. Royer. Folks, if you haven't done so, I invite you to like and subscribe to my channel, make comments, turn on your notifications so you find out when I have more content coming in. As you know, or in case you do not know, I am documenting my journey as a cancer patient and giving you the up and up with what's happening in my life. And I just want to cover two basic things, really. One of them, I just recently had the PET scan done, and I was supposed to have a biopsy. Uh, that did not happen, and not necessarily for bad reason. And I also want to give a shout out to two good, dear friends of the family, Joey and Bianca. If you are watching, I just want to wish you two a happy birthday. Happy birthday to the two of you. I am not going to sing because I don't want my voice to crack because it might. And I'll get back to the birthday shout outs in a few. Let's just go over a little bit about what's happening with me with my PET scan. I had my PET scan. So what they did was that they inserted, uh, I was pricked in my arm and they inserted some kind of a dye to give contrast. I had to have it sit in my system for about an hour or so. I think it was a hour and 10 minutes. And then I had to go into an MRI machine. I think that's what it was. But they scanned me from head to toe, toe to head. It made some sounds, but not as loud as a typical MRI. I had to be strapped still so that I wouldn't move. It wasn't that bad. In fact, the spacing, I'll tell you. So let's say this is the amount of clearance that I have on the bench and I'm wrapped. But the imaging, the machine, the apparatus that does the imaging, probably around maybe half my arm's length. Not so bad. Not so bad. It's like a big donut ring that moves you in, moves you forward, and moves you backwards. I know some people are claustrophobic with elevators and closets and stuff, but it wasn't so bad. So I had to wait to get the results. But there was a reason why I did not get the biopsy. So it turns out that I'm being considered for a clinical trial. And what that simply means is that there is a drug that they intend to prescribe for my maintenance phase. My maintenance phase is the part where I will be taking meds once I'm in remission to keep the numbers at bay. I won't be taking them I don't think I'll be taking them every day. I think it's on a schedule that I'll be taking them. And that's just to make sure that the cancer doesn't come back. Well, at least that's the goal. And the way it works in the general sense is that if I take part in the clinical trial, there'll be one drug of interest and one that acts as the placebo. The computer will automatically generate which drug I'll be taking. And once I'm notified, I will just continue as necessary. So, and I have a few other questions about it. So I'm going to give it some time to think about it. I may do it. I may not do it. I'm not certain. I think I will. I hope I will. But let's just see what happens because I do have a little bit of time until I come up with that decision as to whether I'm going to do it or not. That's why I haven't had the biopsy done. Now, here's something that's interesting. Once I have the biopsy done, then those labs are sent in. And based on the results of the biopsy, that's how my remission status can be determined definitively. So I have to have that done in sometime next week. I have a date scheduled, but I am of the opinion that the date is subject to change and the time is subject to change. So let's just see what happens here. Um, One of the things that I'm just going off my notes here, and I'm going out of order. I'm not going to do a deep dive into this. I just wanted to highlight a few things. So I'm going to have to get my immunizations, some of my immunizations all over again, depending on what the labs come back with. If it shows that I am missing presence of some of the immunizations, I'm going to have to get them back. So sometime in October, I will I will start getting those back. The COVID and the RSV and maybe the pneumonia, I'm going to have to get those sooner than later. They say that I can probably get them as soon as August, although I have not been so fortunate to get notification that the vaccines for the flu and COVID flu rather, were available in August, but I'm guessing that sometimes they are. And because of my situation, I have to make sure that my immunity does not get compromised any further. Although I think my immunity is much better now than it was a few months ago. So, and just to go over, there is something I have to redo the blood work for the next week. I do not have to wear my mask outdoors unless I am in crowds. If I'm going to be indoors and there's a crowd or there's lots of people, I'm still recommended to wear my mask. But here's the big one. I can eat outside food. So Chipotle, Shake Shack, Smash Burger, here I come. Here I come. We go in this weekend, maybe? What do you think? Okay. Well, maybe sooner. I I might go out tomorrow. So, but anyway, I want to rewind the clock a little bit. So, Joey is a childhood friend of mine who I grew up with. We used to play football on the block. We used to play wiffle ball in front of the buildings. Um, we've kept in contact. We still lived on the block before we eventually moved to um, different areas. Uh, Bianca and Joey happened to have the same birthday and they're married to each other. So I met them. I was there when they met each other. And since then, I'm not going to go real deep dive into the timeline. But several years later, married, um, we've kept in contact. We've done things together. We always kept in contact. In fact, I spoke to both of them today. Wishing you guys again a happy birthday to the both of you. I owe a dose of gratitude for what you have done. You have checked on me when I was down. You wanted to make sure I was okay. You were on standby. Uh, you helped out with the kids and the missus when I wasn't able to. And I'm forever grateful for that. And I don't know how I could ever repay you. But I just want to share one thing. Uh, Many years ago, we went out bowling. I had the lead. It was the 10th frame. Joey hit a strike. So, when you hit a strike, the score doesn't automatically populate. It depends on the next time that you have a set of pins that don't fall down. So I still had the lead technically. He had two more shots to make because he hit a strike. The next ball, he hit a strike again. So he had one more set of pins to knock down, and that would determine the score. And as he was about to toss the ball down the lane, I took one of his boots. He didn't see me. I tossed it, I flung it underhand in the middle of the lane. And before he dropped the ball on the lane, the boots fell down. He dropped the ball out of his hand. He got distracted. The ball went down the right side of the lane, and three pins got knocked down. And he had this look like I stole his lunch money, or he had the look of Gargamel from the Smurfs with the big eyebrows. And he was mad. He was pissed. And then the interesting thing, the score populated because that was the last shot of the game. I ended up beating him by 1 point. He was so vexed. I laughed so hard. That was one of the funniest moments. And I had to remind him. So Joey, if you're watching, forgive me. I know you're good with it, but I had to do it to somebody, and it had to be you. And if I can tell you something, Bianca was laughing also. So I just wanted to share that story. So for those who may not know, I like bowling, but I don't do it as much because there's not many places that are nearby where I can just get up and go. I have the balls, I have the wristband, the wrist guard, and the thing that you use to wipe the balls. I even have the bag for it. So it would be nice to go back bowling, but it's good to go when you have friends that like to bowl also. But anyway, I'm digressing. I just wanted to give you a quick update. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. There's going to be another update coming soon, as I will be getting the bone marrow biopsy. They'll be drawing labs. I will have more information, a little more information as the time goes along. This is a critical point of my journey. And so far, I feel optimistic. I feel good. But then there's a part of me that feels sad that not many of us get to a point where they have an opportunity to beat the conditions that they're dealing with. And I always try to say a prayer or two for those folks. I'm just going to do my best to be as proactive in my journey, to acquire as much knowledge as I can, to help folks know and understand the mission, and hopefully I can help somebody else. Hopefully. So thank you for your time. Please don't forget to like the channel, like the videos. Please subscribe, turn on your notifications, reach out if you have a question or a comment, and I'll have more content coming up. So for now, take care, be well.